There's a lot to be excited about with Assassin's Creed Mirage, but the biggest deal may be its lower price tag. At $50, it's in the opposite direction of the $70 tag that every industry player wants a piece of. Sure, it's not the first example of AAA prices not conforming. Off the top of my head I can recall stuff like the Spyro and Crash remakes getting a lower price, but a new release in a massive front-running franchise. It's not something that happens every day. With how controversial the $70 price tag has been, this actually seems like a remarkably good move for consumers. Since Mirage is a fifth as long as Valhalla, and one of the major arguments in favor of the hike is an increase in content, it's only fair that smaller releases get a smaller price. However, when we extend this outside the AAA orbit, we uncover an issue that's been a topic of debate for years. How should games be priced? Should length be the be-all end-all? Is there a metric for when a game is worth $70? $60? $40? Well, let's not just stand here asking questions, let's find some answers. We'll start with the ecosystem Mirage is operating in. The AAA industry is quickly moving towards making $70 the standard price for its games, but I've got a couple qualms. Inflation might be on the eternal rise, but games have already been getting more expensive, decked out with multiple editions, DLC, battle passes, etc. In terms of technical complexity and size, the perfect counter-argument, if you'll forgive me this cliché, is Redfall, a game that's not particularly special in either category while having enough bugs to fill a colony. When a game like that is being sold for $70, it's pretty clear that the price tag is arbitrary in regard to quality of content. Of course, there are plenty of $60 games with the cost seeming too steep, which is just all the more reason to have variable pricing. It's something that we could have used all along. If the indie and middle shelf market can vary so wildly in price, why not the AAA circuit? I doubt we'll see a $10 Call of Duty game anytime soon, but with freemium games and $50 prices hitting the big time, there's a great deal of potential for experimentation. There's no reason for prices to march in lockstep with each other among the most successful IPs. If anything, it could give a new lease on life for games that could otherwise be seen as overpriced. Nintendo has a whole host of first-party titles that ought to be a bit cheaper, especially the Switch's many ports from the Wii U. Looking at you, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. I'm arguing mainly on the basis of consumer advocacy, yes, but having a greater price mix would really help out smaller games. However, if I might pump the brakes real quick, there's another side to this story. Trying to work out game prices outside the AAA space in its standardized $70 has long been a tricky subject. Back in 2018, video game retailer Green Man Gaming tried to attach a cost per hour comparison to games, something that immediately caught a wave of backlash. It's not exactly an objective metric. Should such a value refer to the hours of the main campaign or the hours it would take to play every last scrap of content? That's without mentioning the gaps in time between skilled and unskilled players, not to mention replay value. Moreover, what about quality? All the hours in the world are irrelevant if the game is bad. Brevity is the soul of wit, after all, and many great games can be beaten in one sitting.